Hi boxing fans, this is Ray from Split Decision Boxing, Ray Peck. I'm just going to talk very briefly now about some breaking news that's come out overnight concerning our very own Dillian Whyte. Now, you will probably know that Dillian fought on Saturday night and beat Oscar Rivas after 12 rounds, and despite being put down himself early in the fight. I've got it in a previous video. I've said what a great performance it was, probably the best performance of his career in terms of his intelligence in that fight, the way he fought behind the double jab, and basically outthought Oscar Rivas. I did also mention in that video, my previous video, and you can go back and look at this, please do, that I felt in the build-up to the fight, the last few days before the fight, that there was something not quite right with Dillian Whyte. I put that down at the end of the fight to having his game face on and being in a very serious state of mind. He actually said in the post-fight interview immediately after the fight that there'd been a lot of turmoil, a lot of things happening in camp and in the build-up to the fight that weren't quite right, and it was a tough camp, etc, etc, etc. He didn't touch on anything else, but it's come out this morning that he has allegedly failed a test for a banned substance a couple of days, 2 or 3 days before the fight. That test was done by UKAD, which is the United Kingdom body that does drug testing, and there's no mention of VADA or anybody else. The allegation is from a good source. It's from a renowned boxing source, that he failed a test for a banned substance, test A, and he's requested that there be a test B, which takes quite some time longer. It's a more thorough test, and because he requested test B, he was allowed to go on and fight Rivas. Eddie Hearn has also come out now and said he hasn't denied that there was a drug test failure. What he has said is that after tests with both UKAD and VADA, both bodies allowed the fight, were happy for the fight to go ahead. That doesn't clear Dillian Whyte at all, because if indeed it is that he requested a B test, then the fight would have been allowed to go ahead. So it's a strange situation we have now. It's a very damaging situation for Dillian Whyte. I really hope this isn't the case. Bearing in mind that in 2012, I think it was, Dillian was banned for 2 years for failing a drugs test and having a banned substance. So if this is true and there is a second incident of this, I don't think there's anywhere for Dillian Whyte to go. And if it is true, if he has failed it and he has taken a banned substance, performance enhancing substance, then he has to be banned, and he has to be banned in my book for life. And I don't say that lightly, because I really like, I've got a soft spot for Dillian Whyte. As most of the people in the UK have. He's worked really hard over the last couple of years to build his profile up and to become a UK fan's favourite, as was evident at the fight on Saturday night. You have to also consider what he may have failed a drugs test, but a lot will also hinge on what type of drugs he's allegedly failed on. Was it a performance enhancing drug, a banned substance that enhances your performance, builds up your strength, or etc., etc., etc.? Or was it a recreational drug that he's had that doesn't actually have any effect on his performance or anything else? If it's a recreational drug, I guess there's an argument that he can come back from that, as Tyson Fury did. If it's a performance enhancing drug, then there's no way back for him, and there shouldn't be any way back for him. Obviously, for those of you from the US that are watching this video, your man Deontay Wilder is having a field day with this, and he will do. He's actually appearing on a national sports radio station in the UK tomorrow called TalkSport. So I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about that. Have a listen in, guys. See what he's got to say. I'm going to be somewhere else. I'm going to be in southern Spain this time tomorrow, so I probably won't get to hear it. I'll have a sangria in one hand and a beer in the other, cold beer in the other. But I will be following this story, but I probably won't be posting any more videos until I come back. But that's the situation. My view on this is that let's not crucify him until we know for certain, one way or the other, whether there's any truth in these rumours. My gut feeling is that, as in most sports stories that come from a good source, and it has come from a good source, that there usually isn't any smoke without fire. And the fact that either Dillian or Eddie Hearn hasn't come out to flatly refute the allegation, to me says that there's possibly, quite likely, something in it, which is a real shame, because he got to this point in his career. He's beat Oscar Rivas. He's now mandatory for a title shot for the WBC against Wilder, and this happens. You have to ask yourself sometimes, don't you, how stupid and naive are some of these fighters? I had Dillian Whyte down as quite an intelligent guy. When you see him interviewed, he's a bit of a street boy. He's been about, but he looks like when he talks, he sounds like he's got his head screwed on. There was definitely something wrong with him in that build-up to that fight. He was a lot more agitated than normal. He was a lot more sullen than normal. Something was on his mind, and I said that in my video. You'll see it if you look at my video saying Dillian Whyte, who's next, or what's next, I think it's called. Go back and watch that, and you just see I touch on it then. But then I gloss over it by saying, well, I was obviously wrong, because it was his, from his performance, it was obviously his game face that he was putting on. And now I'm thinking otherwise again. So this is going to unfold. This is going to unfold over the forthcoming days and weeks, and we'll see what happens. Hope you like this video, guys. Please please give it the thumbs up, please share it, please comment below, and please subscribe to my channel. This is Ray Peck from Split Decision Boxing, signing off.